Check, check.
Commissioner Holden's here.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning. I'm digging this cool weather.
Yeah, it changed in a hurry.
Yeah, literally at 3 o'clock on Monday, it was 95 degrees. And then I woke up in the morning to like 50.
Morning, Commissioner Coleman.
Good morning, everyone. Where were you, Commissioner Holzman?
I was coming home from Lake of the Ozarks on Monday when it was 95. And then, of course, Kansas City. It was cold. I had to put on a fleece yesterday working outside.
Wow. It was a little chilly, I think, even here in St. Louis yesterday. Yeah, I pulled the blanket up on me.
I'll take this over 95 any day of the week.
Roop's here.
Morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, all.
Commissioner Roop, how'd you like your team? How'd it turn out for you?
Pretty well. I guess they rated me with a B, and they project me to be in the playoffs. So I'm very pleased with that, considering I started looking at it 5 minutes before the draft. What's your team name?
What's my team name?
Yeah,
Circle the Wagons.
Circle. Okay, I thought that was you. I wasn't sure. So, how do you feel?
Yahoo was not very kind to me. I think I got like a C minus, but I was very happy with the players that followed me. I can't believe that Patrick Mahomes went number 1 overall. Like, that doesn't happen in normal drafts.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too.
Get a bunch of Kansas City guys, and there you go.
Yeah, true. You get a bunch, and the hometown favorite, and makes it even that much more exciting to watch them.
That's true. For whoever can afford to go out there, the top row, the very top row, was going for $200, cheapest you could get in the stadium.
Wow.
Kenny's here.
The lower
I've been here, but I didn't want to interrupt your draft analogy.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm just wanting to know for if the folks who can afford, $400 for a pair in the top row are going to be able to make the kind of noise that the normal person who can afford a $30 ticket up there is going to make.
Very true.
All right. Well, we are all here, so as soon as it hits 10:15, we will go. And it is 10:15, so we will go ahead and call the agenda meeting to order. Again, due to COVID, we're continuing to conduct agenda via WebEx for the foreseeable future. Would ask that those participating on the call please mute unless you need to speak. The first order of business is to approve the minutes from September 2nd. You all have seen those. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of September 2nd, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those minutes are approved 5-0. We are going to postpone the case discussion on EX 2020-0006. Hopefully, we will be able to tackle that next week. So that brings us to tariffs and new orders, of which we have 4. So we'll go ahead and start off with file number EC 2020-0252. This is Edwards v. Evergy, Missouri West. Evergy, Missouri West has requested permission to allow witnesses in this hearing set for later this month to appear via phone or WebEx due to COVID-19. Ms. Edwards objected to the request, indicating that she would prefer a live hearing where all witnesses and parties appear in the same location. Now, we obviously want to ensure that rights are protected, but I don't think allowing witnesses to appear by phone, which our rules already allow for and we were doing prior to COVID-19. So I don't think that prevents the complainant from having a fair hearing. In the past, we've allowed witnesses who are out of state or otherwise unavailable to testify via phone. And recently, we've allowed more witnesses to appear via WebEx as a result of COVID. So I do think that that it's best that we continue allowing people to testify via phone or WebEx. So I support the order granting Evergy's request for a witness to appear by telephone or video, and giving Judge Jacobs the authority to determine any further requests concerning remote appearances for that particular hearing. So I recommend that we support the order as drafted, version 2. Commissioner Kinney?
I am in support of the order.
Commissioner Roop?
I am in support as well.
Commissioner Coleman?
I support the order.
And Commissioner Holzman?
I support the order.
All right. All those in favor of approving the order as drafted, version 2, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Next up, file number ER 2019-0374. This is in the matter of Empire District Electric Company's request for authority to file tariffs, increasing rates for electric service provided to customers in its Missouri service area. So the commission previously issued an order directing Empire to submit tariffs in compliance with the commission's report and order. After Empire filed those tariff sheets, staff was directed to submit a recommendation, and other parties were also given an opportunity to submit comments. There were some concerns that were brought up by staff, and so the commission requested Empire submit some answers to clarify how they calculated and applied the revenue requirement across rate cases. After seeing Empire's responses to the commission's order and the responses from staff, I feel comfortable that the tariff sheets do comply with our amended report and order. OPC also filed some comments claiming that there were deficiencies in some of Empire's FAC tariff language and requesting that Empire be directed to identify in the tariff sheets the FERC sub-accounts that would be included and excluded from the FAC, and that certain definitions be added. So Empire and staff both responded to OPC's suggestions. I agree with staff that OPC's suggested changes are either outside the scope of the issues decided by the commission, so it's outside the scope of the compliance tariff, or that the issue concerning Empire's wind project was decided by the commission and the language in Empire's compliance tariffs is consistent with the commission's decision in the amended report and order. So I support this order, which rejects OPC's suggested revisions and notice, and the compliance tariff sheets filed by Empire submitted on August 31st will go into effect by operation of law on September 16th. So all those, I recommend that we support this order, version 3. Commissioner Kinney?
I support the order.
Commissioner Roop,
I am supporting the order.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 3, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is also approved 5-0. Next up, file number EF 2021-0011. This is in the matter of the application of Union Electric Company, DBA Ameren, Missouri, for an order authorizing the issuance and sale of additional long-term indebtedness related to wind investments. Last month, Ameren filed an application seeking authority to issue up to $550 million of long-term indebtedness. The company indicated that the funding will be used in the fourth quarter of this year as part of the financing for a $1.2 billion investment in wind generation facilities. Ameren says that the ability to issue the long-term debt will allow the company to avoid needing to finance wind project acquisitions with a large amount of short-term debt, and will mitigate the risk and preserve liquidity. So the company is requesting the authority be granted by September 26th and that it remain in effect for 1 year. Staff reviewed the request and recommended that the commission approve the request subject to certain terms and conditions. Ameren submitted its response that it accepted those terms identified by staff, and no other responses were received. So this order grants the application for financing authority with the expedited effective date subject to staff's recommended conditions, including that the company submit information concerning any financing authorized by this order. So I support the order approving the application for financing authority and recommend that we approve it as drafted version 1. Commissioner Kinney,
I'm in support.
Commissioner Roop,
I am supporting.
Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
and Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is approved 5-0. Finally today, file number GN 2021-0039, GN 2021-0041, WN 2021-0042, and SN 2021-0043. This is in the matter of the application of Empire District for a name change to DBA Liberty. So on August 15th, the Empire District Gas Company, Liberty Utilities Mid-States Natural Gas Corp., and Liberty Utilities Missouri Water informed the commission that they had registered under the fictitious name Liberty and would begin operating under that name. A few days later, the companies filed tariff sheets changing the title pages for the separate companies to indicate the new Liberty Utilities or Liberty name. Staff filed a recommendation that the Liberty companies had not complied with the commission's rules concerning a name change as found in section 20 CSR 4240-2.060 sub 5. Specifically, staff pointed out the requirement to submit adoption notice tariff, which will have to have at least a 30-day effective date. So I know that the company may think that the adoption notice hasn't always been required, but I do think that it should be enforced because the purpose is to make sure that customers are aware of the name change and can track the tariff sheets that will apply with the new fictitious company names. So to make sure that the title page tariff sheet changes submitted by the companies don't go into effect before the companies can file the required adoption notice tariffs, this order suspends the title page tariffs for 30 days. So I support this order directing the Liberty companies to file an adoption notice tariff and suspending the title page of these tariffs for 30 days. So I recommend that we approve the order as drafted version 1. Commissioner Kinney,
I support as well.
Commissioner Roop, Commissioner Roop,
I am supporting.
thank you. Commissioner Coleman,
I'm in support.
and Commissioner Holzman.
I support the order.
All right, all those in favor of approving the order as drafted version 1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That order is also approved 5-0. So that concludes reports and orders. Again, we're postponing case discussion to hopefully wrap that up next week. So that just leaves us with scheduling. Wednesday, September 16th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Wednesday, September 23rd, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Evergy will have a time of use presentation in ER 2018-0145 and ER 2018-0146. They're going to provide details of the education, marketing, and outreach efforts and customer TOU subscription numbers. That will be at the end of agenda that day. Thursday, September 24th, we have an evidentiary hearing in EC 2020-0252. That's Edwards v. Evergy, Missouri West at 9 a.m. in room 310, Judge Jacobs presiding. That hearing is in person, but as we noted earlier today, we will allow some participants to join via WebEx. Wednesday, September 30th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Wednesday, September 30th through Thursday, October 1st, we have an evidentiary hearing in EU 2020-0350. That's Evergy's application for an AAO related to COVID-19 expenses. That begins at 9 a.m. in room 310, Judge Jacobs presiding. Wednesday, October 7th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. and Wednesday, October 14th, agenda at 10:15 a.m. Are there any additions, requests, comments regarding scheduling through October 14th? All right, hearing none, that concludes our business for the day. We have no other business coming before the body, so thank you, commissioners. We are adjourned.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Mr.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.